Today, I'm going to introduce you to a fashionable disease. A lot of people is fooled by this disease. It hides behind our poster, television, media. And some people that have this disease don't think it's a disease at all. They think it's a self-esteem booster. It makes them better. It makes them feel good about themselves. So what disease am I talking about? Some people call it the A word. For most of us, we call it anorexia. Anorexia, unlike any other disease, comes from the inside, comes from the subconscious mind of poor self-esteem and metaphorically, this disease is almost like the devils and the angels that is on your shoulder that tells you to do different things, make different decisions. And so who suffers from this disease, you might ask? Is it only women? Well, I'm going to give you this answer today. But I've narrowed it down to 3 groups of people that suffers from anorexia and the causes of anorexia to give you a better example and specific points to what causes anorexia in our society. First, I'm going to talk about anorexia among families. Many people don't think that family as a whole can be anorexic. As Guru stated in Lying in Wait, she stated that parents and child communicate through food. Because usually mother cooks all the food and manages the family. Therefore, the mother can control what the child eats as to she can control what she eats. Then this type of anorexia it is caused by self-control. They need control to control the child and themselves. And in chapter 5 in Lying in Wait, she stated this really specific example. A mother reaction, the mother interaction with food, it's very, very relevant to the developing child. For example, the mother would cook something and they strive for perfection. If the food doesn't turn out right, the mother acts negative towards the food. And other times, when it turns out just right, it's perfect, she's very happy. So the child sitting in the kitchen looking at the mother thinks food makes mother happy. And other times, food makes mother sad. Therefore, since the child is very impressionable, it would come to a conclusion where food is so important, it controls people's emotion. So to sum it up, what causes anorexia in families is for the mother, is for the control. And for the child, they can't help it since child mirrors the mother or the parents. And a lot of cases when the child grows older, they would experience eating disorder or anorexia, bulimia, and so on. So, as I was saying, many people think that only women suffer from anorexia, right? No. Statistics shows that 1 out of 10 men suffers from anorexia, stated in the book Perspective on Disease and Eating Disorder by Savage. So now let's talk about the causes of anorexia in men. First of all, the major cause is, of course, again, self-esteem, but it's also affected by the media. For example, many men would pick up magazines and they would look in the magazine and see this model who has very unrealistic body proportion. And then they feel bad about themselves because most of us don't look like models. It's hard to achieve that body image. Second is the health magazine, Men's Health magazine, showing men with 3% body fat, very unrealistic, and men look at that and they think, well, if I look like that, then I'll be adored by the society and I'll be loved by women and men. They'll be respected. So to sum it up, what causes anorexia in men? First, poor self-esteem. Second, peer pressure from the society, from magazine, trend, and fashion. Since we're talking about fashion and trend, now let's talk about the causes of anorexia among models. Everybody wants to be like, most of the anorexic wants to be like the models. So why do models have anorexia? I'll tell you why. First, high fashion designer like Calvin Klein, Giorgio Armani, and Christian Dior demands and prefers model who is under a size 2. Their concept is the model would serve as a human hanger, so the silhouette and the clothes that they design would display the way the day it was designed. There will be no distortion of the body, because they're so thin it hangs down like the way it was created. Secondly, also the fashion industry put pressure on models to be very thin, because mostly the thinner they get, the more popular they are in the fashion industry. Third, also their agent model, the agency also put pressure on the model, because the thinner they get, as I was saying, the more popular they are and the more money they get, and the agency would receive a cut from it. Therefore, it encourages model to be undersized too. Also, model is very self-conscious of their body image, since they do work in the industry of looks. They compare themselves to other models and how thin they are, and yeah. So to sum up the causes of what causes anorexia in models, first, mainly is peer pressure from designers and agents. Secondly is body image. They have a very poor body image. So in conclusion, anorexia affects a lot of different people, including different sex, gender, and race. It is not prejudice. And as our society emphasis more on beautifulness and thinness side by side, our society is increased in anorexic, as our society compares beautifulness and thinness side by side, more and more people is getting more anorexic. And again, not only women can suffer from anorexia, also family and men. Two main problems that causes anorexia. That is one, peer pressure from the society, either from internal or from the outside, such as magazine trends and the fashion industry. And another one is poor self-esteem. I hope this speech was informative and that you have no different causes of anorexia among our society.